All right. So this episode's not your typical parenting advice bullshit. No baby books, no gentle parenting TikToks for the Gen Z here.
I don't have kids.
Oh, okay. Just real talk from one dad to another I'm 2.5 years deep into it. And this guy's about to be drop kicked into fatherhood. So I want to make sure he's prepared as much as possible as well.
Thank you,
So this is the episode I wish I gave myself before my kid showed up because I thought I was ready. But I wasn't, right? I actually skimmed some articles. I bought like the fancy pram and suspension because this is probably what Davey does. And I said the dumbest words ever, which is, how hard can it be? Right?
How hard can it be?
Yeah. So spoiler, it's hard, it's beautiful, it's brutal. It rewires your brain, but it'll humble the shit out of you as well. So today, there's no fluff, no filters. I'm going to share the 7 lessons that hit me the hardest as a dad. And this is the kind that doesn't show up on a checklist, but it changes everything as well. So we'll talk about, things around like the identity, legacy, migrant mindset, and why like working on yourself actually stops you from being optional the second you become a dad as well, right? And if for those who are listening, if you're about to be a father or you're already in the deep end, wondering if anyone else feels what you're feeling, like this one's for you. So let's get into it.
Before we get started on today's episode, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is recorded, the land of the Darug people. We would like to acknowledge and pay respects to our elders past and present and the next generation coming through. Now, onto today's episode.
I feel like online, no one talks about this stuff, especially the guys. The girls, the ladies, but the guys don't talk
The
about
guys
this.
don't get sentimental about this as well.
All the guys are just like Andrew Tate type of thing. Like they just talk about business or you got to be alpha.
I feel like we get pitched at a lot from dads, like Asian Australian dads.
I think you guys aren't on the side of like fatherhood TikTok or Instagram or anything because I've got a lot of content from dads.
Like parenting TikTok?
Yeah, parenting content. Yeah.
I see it every now and again. My algorithm
My
shows up.
algorithm hasn't changed yet.
It's still Asian girls.
Yeah, still Asian girls.
Yeah, 10%. 10%.
All right, lesson number 1. I'm calling it, most advice is junk food. So this one's probably pretty self-explanatory. Do you know what that means?
Junk food?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad food for you.
Bad food. So
that what it
everyone's got an opinion. Most of it's low nutrient, right? Most of it's low nutrient, high noise. So I think that like for me, like context matters. Like when you first start telling people that you're gonna have a kid, like are you already starting to get advice from people about like parenting?
Oh, sorry. I thought this was food. About food.
No, this is fatherhood.
Oh,
We're
this
talking
is,
about
no,
dad
I mean,
lessons
I seem like you were I thought you
No.
were feeding your child the wrong food. But you're talking about advice. Okay, I get it. Yes, I do.
hell, man.
I get a lot of that.
Yeah. Cool. So I use this like metaphor. I'm like, you should take like parenting advice like taking shots at a party. Like some of it you slip slowly, and then some of it you politely decline.
And some of them you throw out.
And some of you throw out, but some others you take, right? Yeah. And the way I describe it is like this child that you've got coming is now you are the CEO of this like new little startup, basically. It's not a business, but at the same time, it's like something that you're gonna like. Everyone's gonna give you ideas. There's a lot of noise, but you gotta like separate the feedback from the facts, basically. So for me, I felt like I was someone who like when I first started telling people this situation, I was getting like a ton of like feedback, and most like the hardest thing for me was actually getting parenting advice from my own parents. Like they were teaching me like some stuff that I think because my parents hadn't been like an actual parent for a newborn for like 30, 40 years. It was really hard because my mom's like one of those people who is like super, she's very sure in her ways about like the way you should be parenting. I don't know if you're going to get, you get that with your parents as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
My dad's pretty bad.
But your parents know now. So are they already starting to share some of that?
They're sharing it like to my brothers. I can see it.
Oh, it's already happening with
Yeah,
them.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. They like, yeah, I think their way of thinking is, oh, it's okay. It happened in their generation and it was okay and acceptable then. So it's acceptable here now. But right now, it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably like the hardest one. Just trying to get, trying to like, I guess, respect my parents when it comes to the advice that they were giving as well. And like little stuff, you know how like parents always like worry that you're going to be cold? Same with the kid, right? Every time Hudson like is not wearing socks, it's game over. Like you've got to put socks on. Even if the guy's like sweating balls and stuff, you've still got to put socks on. So that's been really frustrating as well. Just with like lesson number 2, this one was a very sentimental one for me because it, for like first week into fatherhood, This one like punched me in the face. And I'm calling this lesson, you're the bodyguard, not the hero. And it's basically like, you can wipe his ass, you can hold him while he cries, you can cook him food, but you can't help him fight his fever. And that's like something that broke me as like a dad, right? And this is basically the idea is like when your kid, for the first time when your kid gets sick, it really hits you differently. Like you want to trade places in a heartbeat, but life doesn't work that way. And this happened when he was 1 week out of hospital after being born. And then he picked up, like he had like quite dry skin. And he like picked up this, like he had this little, like sort of like skin cut above his eyelid. And it sort of like got worse and worse over time. And then we ended up staying in the hospital for a full week. And it was rough because basically he picked up like a staph infection. And a staph infection for like a newborn is like really serious, like really freaking serious.
They haven't even built an immune system yet.
They haven't built an immune system. They're like just exposed to the world. And I remember when we found out, well, basically they had to put him straight into neonatal intensive care unit, like ICU.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really serious. And it was kind of like we didn't expect it. We were just thinking we'll go in, check it out and go home. So we were like pretty, like Iris and I were pretty like besides ourselves. And the worst bit was that he had to, they had to put a cannula like in his vein. Like imagine like a newborn having to insert like a needle in. And then what we saw was like a team of doctors having to like pin down your newborn just to get the cannula in. So of course, you know, the kids crying and stuff like that. It was pretty traumatizing. The lesson is like, you can't be sick for your child. Like the hardest thing is like, you can do everything for your child, but you can't actually be sick for your child. When your child is sick, it's like the hardest thing as not just like a dad, but like as a parent.
What were you feeling when that was happening? Like, what were the emotions?
There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of like negative emotions going on. Like, why does this like happen to us? Like, you know, you hear about all the like the best stories and everyone's like, you know, bring your child home, like you watch him grow up and that sort of stuff. And we had like a very bumpy ride at the start, but then we realized over time when we talked to people about it, everyone was like, oh no, we have like our own version of that. You just don't talk about it. It's very taboo. And dude's got like a oxygen mask on. He's got like 3 things like, you know, shoved into him, like a little baby. Like it's very confronting to see, especially your own child. And it was just like really shocking for me. And I just remember being like, I remember being like very upset. I don't know how else to describe it. It was kind of like a bit of a blur. Going through it.
Must have been hard for Iris too.
Yeah, it was super hard for her. There was a lot of stuff she didn't want to see. She didn't want to look at it because it was like so hard for her to accept what was happening as well.
You can't even talk to anyone about it because
And doctors are really clinical because they can't get emotionally invested.
Yeah.
It's not like Grey's Anatomy where they're all fucking like, you know, and they're full, like the doctors are very professional, but they also like don't have any emotion with the way they tell you things. And I remember, like you'd ask him, you're like, is my child going to be okay? And they're like, we'll have to see. Like that's kind of the response.
They can't
that's
give
the
you
most fucked up thing to hear because you don't know for sure or not.
They can never give you any certainty.
Well, they'll get sued if they do, right? Because if your child doesn't make it and then something happens, then
Would you prefer if they were emotional with you though?
Because
the other side of it
I
is
get where
like-
they're coming from, but you kind of sometimes want the comfort. So we only had each other from a comfort standpoint as well. But because we're so new, because you're just new to the whole, everything's new. You have no like frame of reference to go back to when it comes to like, you know, understanding whether or not that's right. And so, and obviously, thankfully, he was fine. But it was just, it was like the first kind of like 24 to 48 hours, like was really, really hard to go from like, come in, see a normal doctor to then like literally get shipped straight into the ICU. But it's very visceral because now every time he gets sick, we're like super alert about it. Like maybe we're a little bit oversensitive.
But I guess it's better that way rather than just leaving it.
It's better. It's 100% better. To the point where like we've got our GP like on speed dial. Like it's to that level where it's like it's very, especially at like for some reason kids at night, they get more sick at night. So like breathing issues, or especially because they pick up like respiratory viruses and stuff like that. Like he's had some breathing issues where he's like very short on breath, and each time it's like go to the hospital. So you're gonna be doing a lot of hospital visits.
Man, I hate the hospital too.
Yeah, I hate the hospital too. It's not great because it's very sterile and clinical, but also no one gives you a straight answer because they can't. They have to.
Yeah, no, but I feel like I'm always waiting there. Is a lot of waiting?
Yes. So the first time we went, we were like, again, naive. We were like, oh, we'll just be here. They're going to check us out. Again, prescribe some meds. I don't know why we think this because it happened the first time. But now every parent knows when you go to the hospital, you're there overnight. Bring a bag, bring all your shit. Don't assume you're going to be there for an hour or two. You're going to be there for like overnight, because what they want to do is they want to prescribe what they prescribe, and then they want to monitor you.
Yeah.
I wonder how our parents used to do it. Did they take us to the hospital? or
No,
did
I
they-
never got taken to the
I'm
hospital.
surprised we're
I don't
alive.
remember
Yeah.
going- I remember going to the hospital that much
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like, I thought about it as well. But yeah, I think that it's like a very, the best way to describe it is like it's a very cruel paradox of being a parent, because the more you love them, the more helpless you feel. What I wrote down here was like, helplessness is a feature, not a bug. And so it's like what sharpens like your empathy as a parent as well. And yeah, it's like the biggest project that you'll work on as a dad, but there will be always issues along the way. There are all sorts of like problems, especially in health. Like health is probably by far the hardest thing to deal with. So yeah, that's something that's going to be a very difficult thing for you to go through, but you'll have to go through it. Being an emotional guy.
Yes.
you are.
Cry every single time.
I'm be scared.
Yeah, it's a scare. I think it's fear is the biggest
I
thing.
think the hardest part about me is that I like to control everything or influence things, and because I'm a business owner, and I feel like I
Have to let go of a lot of control.
I don't even have any control. Yeah. So that's actually the most scariest thing of having a kid, which is like, don't know how the kid's gonna grow up. Don't know. I can't control its feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one day that like when they go through depression or whatever, it's like the mental illness, which I find is the most scariest thing, especially for these days. Yeah. So
Plus, you're having a girl, so there's so many more layers involved in
Yeah.
terms of looking after all the safety and
yeah,
everything.
100%. So yeah, that's gonna be scary, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, there's
Just
like
gonna
pros
take
and
it.
cons to like, people think about like sons and daughters as well.
Damn, I don't know how people do it these days, man. Working full time or part time and looking after the kid. Far out, that must be hard.
Okay, so lesson number 3 I've got here is cliches are just truths. You haven't lived them yet. So, when people say like, oh, it goes fast, I get it, in theory, but you actually don't really get it until you actually feel it as well. So it's like you'll notice when your child, and because they grow very quickly in like the first few years, like he's 2.5 right now, it's like and anything that's like a new upgrade, like him sort of like growing bigger, is something that's like disappearing at the same time. So the way I describe it is like when he outgrows like his onesie, you're like, oh, he's like not at that stage anymore. Like you see these like little checkpoints and milestones, and yeah, you don't really sort of like feel it. You don't really understand it until you actually feel it as well.
That's
So-
why that's why they say parents count in months rather than years, because there's so many little tiny moments that happen that are actually really big.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and I think that being business owners, both of us, it's like you should, like I'm still trying to work on this, but it's really hard to decide between like business and work and your child. Like I'm still grappling with it. I'm still dealing with it, but I don't want to be in that case where people go, oh, I don't want to just like be the one who misses out on those major milestones and so on. We're not talking like, actually, we're not even talking about major milestones. Like,
Just
like
little.
the kid at the assembly doing their speech. I'm like, of course you're going to be there for that. But it's actually the little milestones, like when the dude learns like a new word, or he can now articulate what he's saying, or he can walk better, or he's just found like a new toy he loves. Like those little things you will miss out on if you're not very careful with your time as well. So finding a way to like build your life where you can actually do that a lot more is like actually really hard, just because there's always something to do in business, or there's always something to do in work as well. So
Are you beating yourself up too much, like about that? Like, you can't be there for everything.
no, I don't, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like beating myself up. I think for me, I'm just conscious of it. So it's like, yeah, I know I'm going to like miss out on stuff, but at the same time, I'm trying to be as present as possible. It's also why like I work from home like 3 days a week, because even me, like in between meetings or even during lunch break, I just like go straight downstairs and I spend time with him. I can't do that in the office, right? So those are like the little things. But I think he's at an age now where he's like between 2 and 2.5. And I was talking to Bowie, one of the guys in the office. He's got kids as well, and he literally, because he gets it as a dad, he's got 3 kids, I think, two kids. Yeah. So he said these things like, oh, how old's your kid? And I'm like, oh, 2 years and like 3 months. And he's like, damn, next 6 months is going to change big time, because like to Viv's point, that's when things accelerate.
Yeah.
So I think when in the early days, like when he's between like 0 and like 1.5, 2, there's probably less milestones, so to speak, or things are just not as quick. But
That's why I heard
it
that as well.
accelerates.
Because the zero, I heard it from another business owner, and they said like 0 to even two, they don't remember anything. So you can leave them with a babysitter or maid or whatever with the mum, and they won't even know.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do that.
So that's what he or she said, whoever it was. It was a client of mine.
They're also very fundamental growth years as well, though.
Yeah, the very formative years.
Yeah.
I think that it's because they like trying to run a business and all that stuff, which I felt like that wasn't really good advice. But
Yeah,
Ken's first point.
I'm a huge.
He's like, then you can come back when it's too.
No.
Right.
Fucking hell.
It's not. It's and also it's like a lot of stuff. It's not that they remember it or not. It's whether they can feel it or not, and it's like a feelings thing. Which actually leads me to like the next one, which is lesson 4 is tiny humans, big perspective shifts, which basically means that, and I mentioned this on a previous podcast. He's like, this guy, like my son Hudson doesn't care if I like lost a client or I missed a call or like I got yelled at in a meeting, basically, right? Like he just wants to finish his ice cream. Like that's all he gives a shit about. So, like in our heads, it's all about money, clients, deals, and putting food on the table, being the breadwinner and stuff like that. But for him, it was like yesterday morning he was having a meltdown about his socks being inside out.
Aww.
Like he just lost his shit over it as well. And so,
It's so funny because I never see that side of Hudson.
oh, you never see it?
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
see the very
Happy.
laid back, chilled.
Nah,
dogs rushing to you, about
Yeah.
to bite your head off, and you're just like, "Do you want some food?"
Yeah. True.
Yeah, he's got it's like I always say it's like same level of emotional intensity that we have with our businesses.
Yeah.
But it's like just a different cause. Like it's a completely different thing. And I found it as a dad initially like really jarring, but then I found it like oddly beautiful, like in the sense that the kid just doesn't care. The kid's very present. Like they don't care about the future. They don't care about the past. All they're fixated on is like right here, right now. And it forces you to, because if you're not present, sometimes like I'm on my phone, I'm not completely present. Like he makes it be known. And
It's very innocent too.
extremely innocent. Yeah. And so I find like you spend like your whole adult life chasing, and then, he's just this kid who's just worried about like how his socks are being put on.
Yeah, it brings you back to the present day for you to just focus on the present.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that with because I have some extreme personalities and some things. Like I work really, really hard, and I always want to strive for something. Whereas then, like some of my friends and even like Shirley, they're just so chilled, and they chuck tantrums over the most simple things, and I enjoy it. Like I love seeing that, and I want to be like that. So I just want to hang out with people like that.
Your crash out is valid.
Yeah, crash out is valid.
You say that to your kid?
Yeah.
Because then it makes me realize that life isn't so serious. Like, why you take it so serious? Just enjoy it while we're here.
100%.
So yeah, I get that feeling. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best. And just like we took him to the zoo last weekend, and he was just like, there was this dinosaur themed, and he could literally, and we were thinking, we're like, oh, we're gonna take him out, he's gonna see all these dinosaurs, he's going to the dinosaur show. He just saw one T-Rex, and all he wanted to see was a T-Rex for the whole day for like 3 hours straight. And at first it's like you're annoyed by it because you're like, man, I spent this time, money, all this sort of stuff, I want to take you around and see all this thing. The dude doesn't give a shit. He just wants to play with one T-Rex. And it's the same noise over and over again. They are like on repetition like the whole time as well.
Lots of kids and dinosaurs, eh?
Oh, man, kids love dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
Sure. They had like this dinosaur safari, and it was like you go, there's this dude like dressed up as like a raptor. The most cringe thing, like the worst. But the kids loved it. He didn't give a shit. You know what he was doing? There was like a hill in this like auditorium. There was just like a grassy hill. All he wanted to do was walk up the top and then run down and like roll his way down. He didn't give a shit about it.
Oh, I thought you meant the dinosaur was doing that. I'm like,
No, for him. Yeah, and it's like you can't predict this guy. Obviously, like kids are just unpredictable when it comes to like what they're interested in as well. So,
but isn't that yeah? That's the cool thing about it. Like, yeah, I know. I just
Different
find it so cool.
perspective.
Yeah,
100%.
but yeah, we focus on the big things in life, and the smaller things are the more important things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so lesson 5 I've got here. I'm calling it "We're running on infrastructure they built," and this is less about the kid, but basically it's to say that I feel like we're parenting on easy mode, and our parents actually parented on hard mode. So like becoming a dad basically made me realize like our parents were pretty much just like winging it. Like they were in a new country, no language, no savings. no idea what gluten was. Like they literally, and this is the point what we were saying earlier is like, how the hell, like we probably didn't even go to hospital when we should have went to hospital. Like how do we survive as well, right?
No mental health as well, by the way.
No mental health, yep. But they managed to feed us. They managed to clothe us. They sacrificed a lot for us. And we actually most of us turned out all right. And, you know, I always complain about like very little things, you know, but then we have Google, we have Uber Eats. They didn't even have the internet basically during that time as well. And you start to appreciate your parents a lot more, just being a parent as well, as cliche as that one sounds. But the only thing was like they weren't perfect, but I found like at least my parents were like very relentless, and I probably could say like for most migrant parents, they just like persisted because they had to as well.
Sometimes you wonder how the hell they even survive, right?
Just fumbled their way through.
Yeah. But then also like being a parent, I found that I had things that I would say or tendencies that the way my parents parented me. And I sometimes have to catch myself not doing that because it's not always a good thing.
That reminds me of one thing my parents used to say to me, which I mentioned to you in another chat, was that my dad, when I was young, used to say, I would be so rich if I didn't have to like raise 3 kids. Fuck. Yeah. And he said it throughout my whole like childhood. So now I think that now come to think about it, I never went to therapy to talk about it, but I think that's the reason why I work so bloody hard. Because I feel like I was
trying to prove something.
Yeah, I felt guilty always. So and then now when I'm having a kid, I just don't ever want to say that to my kid, and I have to watch myself. And then watching other friends go through the same trauma I went through, or similar trauma where that something happened to them in their childhood, and seeing them like think that they're a bad dad as a result. I can see it eat them inside. Like,
we had a very like candid catch up with some like mates of all dads, or pretty much most of them were dads, and it was like that. It was like very like I don't know how it turned that way because we were just having a debate about like, do you send your kid to private school or not? And then like one of them opened up quite a lot, and I think he just had a lot of trauma around whether or not he was a good enough dad or not, and it was partly because of maybe the way his dad treated him as well, and I think he had this fear of like him being his dad as a result, which is pretty like, you know, I don't know, I can't say sad, I don't want to like say like look down on it, but it's like
I think as a parent, and look, I'm not a parent yet, but I feel like
you are.
Well, kind of, yeah. Well, for what you mean, my dog or
no? You are like technically you're a parent now.
Yeah, is that considered a parent?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
A parent.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm a parent now.
The baby exists just inside Shirley's tummy.
So weird that I just said that. But anyway, I've kind of learned this at a young age because it happened to me so many times, and my brother used to teach me this. It's like, look, the older generation is going to pass through a lot of trauma to you, and it's up to us, our generation, to stop passing that trauma over.
To break it or not, break the cycle.
Yeah, break that cycle. So we can't, you know, let the trauma that exists in our life be passed over.
100%. Yeah. So I think for me the punchline is like our job is not to like be them, like mimic them, but actually just to build on top of them as well. Because whilst they did a lot of things that probably messed us up, there was a lot of things they did right as well. And I think they like laid, for me at least, like I feel like they laid the platform for us to actually build on top of it as well. And we wouldn't have this opportunity if not for them as well. So I have to always like remind myself to be really forgiving that my parents are imperfect. And yeah, like for example, I'll get like parenting advice from them, but I know it comes from like a place of like good heart. And it's not that they have ill intentions or anything like that. It's just really hard for them because they're trying to, that's the way that they show like their love language as well.
But both things can exist at once. Like one, you can still be frustrated at them for all these different things, but two, you can also look at it from the positive perspective and also live life
100%.
That way too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with my family and my parents and my kids as well when I have them.
Yeah. And like, you know, to sort of segue into like lesson 6, it's like I always say like you can't pour from an empty dad or an empty cup, because one of the things that I was doing in the early days was like I was just like going hard at 110% for everything, and I think like I burnt myself out. I also didn't look after myself.
Even like you're talking about early days is when Hudson just came out. Yeah,
we first came out.
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't understand what you were doing. It was just intense. You were a yes man or something like that. I don't know.
You were doing a lot.
I was doing a lot, yeah.
And that's partly why everything, we stopped because everyone burnt out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying is like, I think it came to a point where I didn't realize I was burning out and I remember just like when he was born, what happened was he was born. We were already doing Level Asian. I still was running Social Wave at the same time. It was COVID and working from home and still in the early days of the business trying to like grow this.
COVID?
2022. Yeah, it was like it was just coming out of COVID. It was like pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
COVID stuff.
Fuck.
yeah, there was like COVID stuff.
was like the first
like for
year of
example, when he
full
was
business
born, you
year.
could only have still
Yeah.
two. They had a rule before it was like only one person in the hospital.
Yeah.
Even after COVID. So we got really lucky where they changed the policy, I think like a few weeks beforehand. So both of us could be there as well. Otherwise I would have like potentially missed
Felt
the
like such a
altogether.
lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was really bad at the time, man.
Yeah,
and
that's
when
why I feel
Iris was
bad for my
pregnant,
brother, yeah.
I remember now,
yeah, when Iris was pregnant, she got COVID and she was like freaking out as well about the whole thing because there's no data around like what COVID would do to your baby and stuff like that as well.
Do you feel like the babies that were born during COVID, like 2020s, it must have changed their behavior a lot because of how the parents had to look after them because they couldn't get help.
Yeah, I don't know if it. I don't. I mean, I'm not an expert in it, but I think for him it meant less socializing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So less socializing when you're young,
Yep.
which means that you develop slower.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know how it affects kids because I'm not like a child expert, but I mean, his development, at least from milestones wise, like by the book, his developments are very good.
Yeah.
But I think like kids don't really know how to play with other kids until they're like 2.5. They do the whole parallel play, which is they're playing by themselves but next to
But
kids,
together, yeah.
but they don't play together. It's just apparently a thing. But yeah, for me, it's like, you know, I was saying before, even before recording, it's like, you know, my own personal health, like mental health, also physical health, like going to the gym. I just stopped like all of that stuff because I literally just didn't have any more energy because all of my energy that was left just went into like the child. Now I was very lucky because Iris is incredible at just like taking care of the whole thing, including when he was first born, waking up every 3 hours to actually feed him. I literally didn't have to do that. Even though we agreed that we would take turns, when it came to it, she actually was just like you have to run the business. I'll just take care of it. So she had it really rough as like kind of almost like solo parenting. Like a lot of dads and mums go through this where it's like usually the dad, for example, was out there just like trying to make money and, you know, away. And then you've got like one person or usually the mum who's like trying to look after it, which is really tough.
Yeah.
But that's the dynamic, right? Like you guys are having this conversation about fatherhood and stuff, which looks very, very different to how I would think about having kids or well, I don't think about having kids because I think the pressure for me is like I have to consider a whole different world of how my life would have to change.
100%.
Because it's like you guys can still, it's like a very lucky thing. You can
We're
still,
very fortunate. We're very lucky.
you can leave the house, still go to work, like your identity is still work. You can do all these things. Whereas the onus kind of falls on the mother because you have to be the sole parent, right?
Yep.
Although the dynamics and stuff are changing, like you have to change your identity. You have to consider whether or not you should still work or not. Like you're always considering, hey, should I give up this or should I be a mother? Like there's so many things you have to give up.
And the guilt as well, right? You might not be able to live with that guilt if you decide to choose, you know, doing your hobbies or whatever it is and then, you know, leaving your kid somewhere.
It's always guilt. Like there's even guilt now when like, say we had dinner with a few of our mates on I think it was like a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. And for me, every time I'm not at home, like let's say for example, I'm at work, like, you know, work is like work. It's like we kind of have that agreed upon. But when it's more socializing, and because I know like Iris doesn't have like a lot of opportunity to socialize because she's like, who else is going to look after the kid, right?
Exactly.
There's a lot of general, like I'm always checking my watch. Yeah.
I guess it's like there's pros and cons on both sides. Like the female side, if or guy or female, or whoever's looking after the baby gets to be there for the special moments. And then the other side where the working partner misses that and also feels the guilt of like always having to work.
Yeah, it's very conflicting emotions.
And then the stress when they come home, they carry so much stress as well. So yeah, man, both sides kind of suck. And then you know what? Our parents probably had to deal with both of that because they both had to work.
Yeah, 100%. My mum was a at-home mum the whole time.
Oh, my parents worked.
They both worked. Hey. Yeah.
So we were left to my oldest brother to look after me.
Oh, he was like the.
That's why I always.
He was like the dad figure.
That's why I always see my brother as like the dad, like the older, like the one I respect the most. Like I would, even.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No matter like if we don't talk anymore, I still see him like that connection that I have with him. Yeah. But yeah,
That's
man,
nice.
it's
But you have to look after yourself. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. It's like,
Yeah.
I think for me, I went way too long of like not looking after myself.
Yeah.
But I think your
Therefore-
personality as well, like you kind of had to devil's advocate sort of, because you're so high functioning and like that's just how you operate. I think this was such a circuit breaker for you and you didn't know how to
It's still hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now
It's still
you
freaking hard.
you've had to go through that
Yeah.
to
Because my default is just to
shift.
go back onto my laptop.
Yeah.
Get where I'm comfortable.
It's your safe space.
It is safe space, but also like just way more deliberate about my time
Yeah.
as well. Like just you have to carve out the time for it. Like if you look at my calendar now, it literally says Hudson time, like
cute.
at different slots. Because if I don't put it in, I'll find a way to fill it up with something else as
Yeah.
well. And it's so bad.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like I'm playing with him, and it's really hard because my brain defaults to like this. I could be doing something.
Yeah.
Like I could be making more money. I could be doing this and that. It's a terrible like I feel very guilty thinking about it that way. But at the same time, then I would catch myself going, no, but this is productive. Like this is
Yeah.
actually contributing to something. It's
So-
just not how your brain works.
I don't know if anyone thinks the way I thought when I was young, but I always used to think about being like 5 years or 10 years ahead. What would future Davey want to do? And I always thought when I was like early 20s, I'm going to have a kid early. I want to like get married early. I'm going to meet my wife or marry the girl I'm with. So I always try to like work so bloody hard. And so I can take it easy when
Yeah.
we do have a kid. So I'm actually curious if that's going to happen for me.
Do you think you'll switch off?
I think I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm
Interesting.
already making the changes in my business where I'm like planning to switch off. Yeah. So Shirley doesn't believe me. No one believes me actually because they see how hard I work. Yeah. But I actually, I can just lose it all.
You probably could, because that's how you quit alcohol for a while. You just been like
Yeah.
Cold turkey.
cold turkey. So
Yeah.
you could go cold turkey if you wanted to. It's just really freaking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. But also the first year or two of your child, it's like you think of like being a dad is like, oh, you're going to have conversations with your kid and you're going to mold them and you're going to teach them things and you're going to show them. First year, bro, they just stare through your soul. Like they don't.
But it's also you learning how to be a parent too, right?
It
So
is,
like
yeah.
I feel like my first 2 years of being a parent is going to be like figuring things out, probably fighting with Shirley, figuring out like what to do.
There'll be a lot of fighting. I'm just telling
It's
you
already
now.
started.
Okay.
Like that feeling that you feel, Viv, about like
Giving up a lot of
giving up a
stuff.
lot. Shirley went through that a lot.
She's
And-
going to keep going through
Yeah.
that too. It's
And-
really, really hard. Like
Yeah.
identity is a huge thing because women, when you have a kid, usually what they say is like you lose your identity because you become a mother. You don't get to become yourself anymore for a very long time. And to be able to switch back or like find pieces of yourself again is so difficult because one, you've changed as a human being. And then two, your whole identity is becoming a mum or being a mum.
Yeah, and things don't wait for you because things
Yeah.
keep moving along as well. Right?
Nobody waits for you essentially.
100%.
Like you just have to operate and keep looking after this thing that is your responsibility now.
Yeah. I totally get what you guys are. Well, I don't get it, but I can totally see what's happening with my wife. But on the bright side, I can also see that, like I showed you guys when we did the other podcast, was that smile and that happiness that she has, that joy of looking after or seeing or growing a baby inside. Yeah, it's probably amazing. You see it with Iris.
Oh
probably.
man, it's the best. Like
Yeah.
she's like the happiest, especially like for example, sometimes she'll like every now and again she's getting better at it. 'Cause I keep telling her to do it. Is like she'll go out and hang out with a friend for half a day, or like he's at daycare for like a couple of days a week, and it's like when they say like distance makes the heart grow fond, it actually really does, even with your kid as well. But like just when he has milestones or like when he's in a good mood, which is most of the time. It's like it's extremely fun. It's like
Rewarding.
Yeah, it's so rewarding. It's like I don't know how else to describe it because it's like it's the shit that only you think is important because everyone else who look at it and just be like, oh whatever. It's like your
Yeah.
kid, right? But for you, it's the most
It's your
important
life,
thing. It is
your
life.
experience.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I feel like having a kid also makes your life a lot more better, which is maybe a weird way to say it. But for me, I'm kind of like stuck. I feel like if I don't, progress to another chapter of my life, I think I'm going to fall into depression because everything I'm doing is the same.
It's too much of a repetition.
Yeah. And what's the point? Like, I'm just trying to be the next level of boss or whatever it is.
You're
in
looking
the
for your
game.
next purpose in life.
Yeah, exactly. And I've done this for like 10 plus years or something like that. And you kind of get over it. It's just like reached my goals. What next? What, I'm going to just try to make more money or, go travel more? What's the point?
You've done it
it's-
already.
Yeah.
Your natural tendency also is to help, like give, like that's your thing, which means you're very like primed for like fatherhood as well.
Yeah.
Because you're not really focused on yourself. You're really actually focused on, say, the child in this case as well. So I think,
I get that.
I think you would,
Yeah. I'll see it that way.
yeah, you would definitely see it that way.
Yeah, I
It's
do.
like-
I do
it's
definitely
like-
see having a kid is actually going to make my life better.
Yes, it's a contribution to yourself, right?
Yeah.
As a result.
Yeah.
So I think that just seeing how you do it for other people as well, who's not even your kid. But I think like you just naturally tend towards that, which makes this very like a good scenario
So
for
no,
having a kid.
should have a kid.
No, thank you.
He ain't there yet. He ain't there yet.
I don't know with a kid.
I reckon you'd be a good dad.
I am
Yeah,
not as
he would be a
giving.
really good dad.
Why? Why do you think I'd be a good
Because I
dad?
think you'd be pretty chill with the kid and like,
You would teach the kid really well. Like
Yeah.
you teach me stuff all the time, and you watch me and you protect me, all that stuff like that. And I could see all the like.
He
it's a
also
different
won't-
personality.
He won't trust
Yeah,
his
yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
He'd be micromanaging his kid.
No, I reckon he'd be pretty chill with the kid. I reckon you'd like be like a chill parent.
I just see him with a kid or a skateboard and
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Carhartt shirt.
Yeah, Carhartt bum bag. Both of them skating.
I'd be the type of parent that would try to live vicariously through their kid, and
Yeah.
I would push all of my unfulfilled hopes and dreams
Oh,
onto this
God.
child.
Okay, don't have a child.
I know that about myself, and that's why I will not be a good father.
nah. I reckon you'll be. Yeah, I think you'll be an amazing father.
It depends. Honestly, it depends on who is my co-parent as well, like who I'm parenting with.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna add a whole different dimension too. So, but yeah, no thanks.
I mean, I get it good. I think I'm very lucky.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
Iris does like 90% of the heavy lifting. I just come in and have a bit of fun with him, and then like change his nappies, do the dad thing, put him to bed. But it's like she does all the feeding, the cleaning, the laundry, the dealing with the tantrums. So we both deal with tantrums. She
shit,
deals with
Dad.
most of the tantrums. Thanks, bro. Thanks,
Okay,
man.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's like and yeah, like that's for dads, it's like being acutely aware of like how much effort the wives put into
100%.
this whole thing is like
Because a lot of it goes unseen. No one
Yes.
really talks about it.
Yeah.
100%. And I have to catch myself going like my role is not purely just to like
Have the fun
financially.
stuff. Yeah.
It's actually there's a emotional component as well, and there's also like we have to be sensitive to everything that's going on because it's like yeah, she could go out and like make money, but that's not the point. The point is like everyone plays their role in the situation as well.
Yeah.
And like we have like an understanding that that's like what my part is in this whole thing as well.
I think and it's also important to know that like there's gonna be ups and downs, and it's gonna
not
be
perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
There are gonna be times where you can't control yourself and things go bad. But as long as you guys are together and you're working it out together, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah,
That's how I see it with Shirley.
100%. And also
Yeah.
this whole thing about like making money, which is like what I wrote down for the last lesson, which is like my goal is to die with zero. Have you guys read that book, Die with Zero?
I don't even read books. Come on,
I know you don't read
already know
books,
that.
but yeah.
Look
but
at me.
I
as if
haven't.
I
You haven't read it?
books.
But I've heard
he,
of
he
it.
talks about this thing about like life dividends and it's this whole concept of like the reason why it's called Die with Zero is like you're supposed to spend all your money on life experiences before you get to the end as well. So the whole idea of like you don't hoard joy, because that's what our parents do. Our parents hoard. They like when we get to the end, we'll have the joyous moments, which it doesn't have because
Yeah.
everything's all fucked up and your relationship with them is all messed up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But instead it's like you spend it daily. And the way to think about it is this idea of like, if I spent my money on this experience, would it pay me in dividends at the end of my life? Because I'm thinking, every time you recollect the memory or the experience, it's a dividend because you get to relive it, you get to enjoy it. But the only difference now is that, yes, that's for an individual, but imagine when you do it with a child as well. That stuff is like amazing, right? And the amount of times like, man, Apple's so good at marketing. We have an iPad at home and sometimes it plays the photo, like
Yeah,
the
the
memories and
memories.
stuff. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. You like relive that shit. It's very much so that, which actually is something that I've been trying to be more deliberate. I know Viv's very good at it. Is like just actually capturing moments.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
I did it for like 1 week and I stopped again.
It's like our parents. They used to have like the little like the camcorder, and I remember my mom used to like document everything.
My mum did too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
my
like
parents did too. Yeah.
your parents did the same.
For like only a certain period of their life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they stopped after a
But
while.
now you can look back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part. Yeah.
And that's like the sort of stuff. It's like it's not about framing up the nicest shot or whatever. It's not a production thing. It's purely just like from
memories
a
and the
memories and
feeling.
documentation thing as well.
Yeah. It makes you more grounded.
So yeah, I think like for me, we used to hold off on, we're like, oh, it's too expensive, or don't spend the money on this. Like, wait until he's older. even now we're debating about Easter show. Iris is like, oh no, he's not going to appreciate it. I'm like, fuck
He-
it.
yeah.
Spend the fucking money.
It is
Go
expensive
there.
this year,
It
though.
is expensive.
It's fucking expensive
It's very
this year.
expensive. But I mean, you don't have to spend money for experiences. I mean, that's the thing.
In Sydney, you do. Bless you.
All right.
I feel like everything in Sydney costs money now.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
for
Everything's
anything-
going to cost you money. So
yeah.
it's just where you spend your money
Yeah.
anyway.
So, Ken, I'm actually curious. Like, what's the hardest thing?
So like on a day-to-day level, like yesterday, we went to K Barbecue at night, and he like mid-meal, like the food just arrived, shat himself.
Oh dear.
And you're like, you have to make a call whether or not you let him sit in his own shit for like another hour. And like when Hudson shits, he refuses to sit anymore. So he squats the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's just agitated. 'cause
Yeah,
he's
it's
like got a piece of
uncomfortable.
he's got a massive piece of shit stuck up his ass. So you have to decide whether or not you either call it and you're like, we try and eat as quickly as possible and just wrap this whole thing up, or you let it fester in there as well, right?
So, how long does it take to change a nappy?
Like if you think about the changing napping process, it's you got to have the nappy. You got to figure out where to change him. That's the hardest thing. It's like, do you change him on? You can't change him in the restaurant, but then restaurants don't have like a dedicated bathroom
Yeah.
to do it. So you have to go either back to the car,
Yeah.
or you got to be creative, like a pram or something like
Yeah,
that
so it
as
would take
well.
like 10 minutes
It's
or 10
super
minutes.
inconvenient. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Probably like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh
Because you have to
my
unchange
gosh.
them, change the
And then the
nappy,
food's
wipe them.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just eat, man.
You just let your kid fester in
Oh.
shit.
Dude, imagine you're wearing an
But then you
adult
got to
diaper,
smell it the
yeah?
whole time as well, because he smelled like shit the whole time.
This reminds me of my dog back in the day where there was a piece of shit on his back when he's walking. I'm like, I should really clean that.
Oh, Jamie.
But you let it go.
I was like, oh, but I got something on. Oh, let me.
Oh, dear.
It's your that time. Obviously,
Oh, your
if
child.
it was my child, I would think about it differently. But
Yeah, so you can smell it. That's the main thing. It's like it reminds you of it. But the other thing is if you leave it for too long, they get like
A rash.
they get a rash.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like then you got to deal with it later. So there's all these like big decisions that you have to make as well. And then if like because Iris is like a clean freak, right? She would refuse to change him in most places publicly.
Yeah.
It has to be like a clean place as well. So that like on a day-to-day level was like
So what
very
did you
hard.
do?
We had to take him all the way back to the car,
Yeah.
which was fucking far away. It was like all in the
Oh,
car
no.
park. So it was like a 20-minute thing. Like
that's
you have to go
why.
back and
That's
forth.
why people don't go out.
That's why people don't take their kids
yeah,
out.
they don't take their kids out.
Yeah. It's just the cost of like going out that you have to deal
all
with.
part
and
of the
stuff as well.
process.
And the dude is a master at fucking timing. Like he times his shits in the most inconvenient moments.
Yeah.
Like for example,
Keeps you guys humble.
Imagine if you were
Wait, time.
you guys were eating together as a family, right?
Yeah.
No friends. Imagine you were with friends.
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
Like it would be so weird.
This is why family, when you have kids, you don't hang out with people who don't have kids all that much anymore, because it's like they don't
Get it.
They don't get it, and you don't want to be an inconvenience to them. So you'd rather just like deal with it
Yeah.
yourself and go.
No,
out together.
I was trying to hang out with. Well, I did hang out with a friend who just had a kid, like less than 1 year, and out of nowhere, they were like talking to each other. The kid was about to cry, throwing a tantrum, and then they're like, I think he needs to eat. And then he's like, okay, cool. You wanna feed him? And then she's like, okay, yeah, sure. And she just
breastfeeds.
about to, and then she looks at me and she's like, oh, do you mind if you want to if I can do this? And then I was like thinking in my head, what's she talking about? I don't know what she's on about. I was like, of course you can feed your kid. Then I realized, oh, she's gonna get her boob out.
Yeah, how else would she feed him?
You were like, of course.
I didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, of course. Why are you asking me if your kid can eat? What a weirdo. And then I realized, okay, this makes so much sense now. It's like, and I just
baby.
tried. I was like, pretend to be calm.
Don't look,
laugh.
David. Don't look.
Don't laugh. Anyway, that's just.
Fucking hell, man, this guy. Can you imagine this guy's a dad though? Like, I literally
Yeah,
cannot.
I can.
Can you?
Yeah. I feel like Davey's pretty built to be a dad.
Yeah.
There's the fun dad stuff, and then there's the serious dad
Yeah.
stuff. You
But
know.
I think he would laugh his way through it.
yeah, but the funniest thing was like I didn't know how it worked, so I was.
Oh my god.
Did I no like as in like do you see everything or you don't see everything like and then I realized it's under the
She has a cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, cool. Because there's no way I could breathe. Yeah.
He was getting tense and
Remain
nervous
calm.
about it.
The whole conversation.
Zoom into like Davey's head and it's like sweating.
Anyway, I don't know. I'm just dumb when it comes to this stuff.
No,
'cause-
most people don't do it though. Most I find most prefer to like go somewhere and just like feed.
Oh,
But
I'm
the-
really
the
used to
baby
having
was-
a lot of women that are just like they just
They just do
Yeah.
it.
It out, yeah.
Most of our friends, they tend to
Conservative.
They go to a room or something like that because they just don't want to ask people and like they just want to be.
I was fine with it. I just didn't like. It's never happened.
Well,
to
you're
me.
a dick if you don't allow. You're like,
Yeah.
no, you cannot feed your.
You know that's
breastfeed
how
your
a lot of
baby.
people are in public these days. They're
What?
like put it away. Like a lot of women will breastfeed with a cover on, and they'll tell them to go somewhere else.
Are you for real?
Yeah, it's like a huge thing. It's like such a big discussion.
I
like people just don't let women breastfeed in public.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, but it's a religion thing, or maybe.
No, it's just
I think it's like people think it's like
to
not a thing you do in public.
Yeah, even though they've got a cover on and everything.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Anyway,
man.
that's why people. I guess that's why people do it.
Yeah.
In
I just
private.
thought it was funny because like I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know if I had to remain calm when there was something like X-rated going on and have a normal conversation.
X-rated. She's fucking feeding a
Yeah, no,
child.
but I just didn't know what was to expect.
you
I've
don't.
never-
You don't need to sexualize her feeding a baby.
But that's just, it's never happened to me before my whole life. And I'm not trying to sexualize it. I'm not trying.
Sexualize it.
I'm not trying. It was just very like, I don't know what
Confronting
the
for you?
expectations- Yeah.
You don't know how to react.
Yeah, I didn't know how to
okay.
react to it.
Sorry, now you know.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I was like, oh, that's going to be me. Surely one day.
But some of the more cliche stuff is like just lack of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are gonna ride on like probably like two like 1.5 hour increments of sleep basically for like the first year or so.
Yeah.
Unless Shirley's a friggin' legend and just gonna be like, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. the whole
No,
time.
I don't think she will be. Nah, she's already
fair enough.
She's already priming me to like
Be ready for it.
be ready to help out and stuff like that. You know, be like, yeah,
Some
sure.
people do it together. They do it with their wives. Like I think there's one of our mates. He was saying even though he didn't need to get up, he would get up.
That's
just
really
because they would
nice.
do it together.
Yeah.
it was very nice.
She would feel less lonely that way.
I think she's milking the crap out of me right now just to get me used to.
Good.
Like get me used to having to help when I
Yeah.
need to help when she needs it.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I gotta admit,
Stop trying to attack
as
me.
as
Not
dads-
attacking you.
as guys, like I don't take hints, man.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at it.
You
Like,
take- you
I
don't
don't
take-
know. It's
you
like
don't take
she's got to
what?
straight up tell me. If she doesn't tell me, I don't pick up on it.
Fucking hell.
She's setting in a frustration.
She was so frustrated at us.
No, but it's serious. It's like I don't take hints.
Hey, we don't think like you guys, so
Yeah, you don't think
think.
full stop.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. But yeah, it's and you're gonna get shat on so many fucking times.
Oh, I was gonna ask that. So yeah.
Yeah, the worst.
The leaking down the arm.
It's
Oh my god.
no, it's not even the arm, man. There was this one time he was like on a changing table.
Oh, no.
So changing table was about like sort of torso height, like sternum height, and like his ass is facing you, and he just like there's no warning because you know like you think when you shit they're gonna like
Nah,
like,
they
they're
just
tense.
go.
Bro, it was like instant, and it was like a like a bottle of tomato sauce
Yeah.
when you squeeze it, it's like that, and it went like all over me and then down my leg,
Oof.
and it was like runny as well.
So question. Did you finish the job or did you go
Yeah, I
get
finished the job. I let it go. Yeah. Thankfully, we were living in a rental property at the time. But yeah, it was like you just get used to it. You're just like I deal with it. You either get peed on, you get shat on, pretty commonly. Although I think Hudson was pretty good. It's only happened like twice to me the whole time.
What about Iris?
He wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't take the hints anyway.
Hudson's gonna be so embarrassed listening to this, but he's a teenager.
Whatever.
But speaking
gets
of which, probably a good segue. Adolescence, Netflix. Everyone's talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I
The
watched it on
Dark Turn.
Friday.
I haven't watched it
Yeah,
yet.
It's
Yeah.
heavy, man.
It doesn't seem like something that I should watch.
I
It
think
might be
as-
worth
as a
for you
parent-
watching.
As a
Not
parent,
now.
Especially if you're having a girl.
yeah.
Not now?
Yeah.
It might scare her.
I feel like it's like one of those things. It doesn't like the cyberbullying stuff doesn't sort of cross my mind because he's not at that age
that
yet
scares
to
me.
start surfing the internet.
But it's worse these days because the kids have so much access to like Andrew Tate, for example. Andrew Tate has built his empire because he's recruited young boys.
vulnerable boys.
Yeah, to do a university. And what they do is they literally push out and make all these like accounts where they push out all of his content. So then it floods all of TikTok. And that's how he gets his content across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and all of that stuff.
So he gets other people to post it for him.
Yeah, he's got a whole university of people.
Yeah.
And so imagine that, but all these vulnerable boys are being targeted for all these things. And there's all these guys walking around and that's their mentality. And so therefore, like domestic violence is on the rise. Sexual assault is on the rise. Like public assault is everything,
But
everywhere.
it's on a rise already. Like
It was already on the rise, but it's increasing more. But no one's doing anything about it.
What causes it though? Is it because there's no father figure Or
It's a multitude
I
of
thought
things.
it was like a thing already. It's just that now it's becoming more like talked about, as in like before the people would just hush it away and hide.
both
Yeah.
elements.
Yeah.
well, the internet's kind of like an echo chamber
Yeah.
anyway, right? So
It's like what's her name? Lily James. She was a PDHP teacher, a volleyball, water
that
polo
lady.
coach at a school,
Yeah.
and she was dating a guy at that school or a colleague for about 4 weeks, I think,
and
and
then
then
the girl that got killed.
yeah, she realized that he was toxic, and so she broke it off with him. And then he lured her, he premeditated everything. He lured her into the bathroom because she had said no to him and said no to the relationship. He lured her into a bathroom and then bashed her head in until she died.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was like really gory as well. I heard.
Yeah.
Like it was really
And
fucked
simply
up.
just because she didn't want a relationship with him.
That's crazy.
And so a big issue is a lot of these guys and these men are there's not a lot of charges being put on. So the rhetoric is, hey, I can get away with this. I'm not going to get in a lot of trouble. It's just a slap on
Because
the
what,
wrist.
they're under 18? Or?
Under 18, the legal system doesn't protect women. People are getting away with it.
And some of the girls probably don't want to say anything
The
because they're
shame
ashamed.
thing.
You can't say anything because the
There's
physical
repercussions,
violence, yeah.
Yeah, that's messed
Well, being
up.
a girl
Or-
dad, it's,
yeah.
you know, like, especially, because, you know, having a son is a little bit different in the sense of what you're worried about when they grow older as well.
Yeah, you should
versus
have. You should have been there when we were a bunch of guys talking
Those
about
dads,
like
yeah.
being dads and stuff. And one of the guys were just talking about, you know, how what's happening in the school life, about young kids not realizing that they kind of sexually assaulting like other younger kids.
Did you hear the story about the 4-year-old girl?
Is this that North?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
were talking
Yeah,
about that.
They were talking
So
about that as well.
fucked
That's
up.
really
Yeah,
messed up.
So they were
But that's
talking,
how young they're being targeted
Yeah.
now.
and it's probably the shit they see.
Yeah.
And then the one of the dads were like, I can't hear this, man. It's affecting me too much. And I was like, holy shit, this is fucked up.
Yeah, it's shit you have to
Yeah.
think about, like the safety. Like as a grown adult woman, like I'm more conscious of my safety now more than ever. And it's so scary to do things by yourself or go out past like sunset because you just never know what's going to happen. There's no parameters of safety. There's nothing that you can do. And that's just something that I have to think about, let alone like younger girls.
So do you think it's like you feel more unsafe now compared to when you grew up?
Totally. Because you don't think
Yeah.
about these things. You're not taught about
So it's more
these
that
things.
it's in your spatial awareness.
You have to be spatially
Yeah,
aware
yeah.
of it now. If you're seeing all these women being assaulted or, violated or killed,
Yeah.
like who's to say I can't be?
Yeah.
Like you can't go out on a run by yourself at nighttime because
Just
simply,
don't know what. Yeah.
yeah. And it's not just because you're being targeted or anything. It could just be anyone on the street. You don't have to provoke anyone.
I always wonder, like, so when we grew up as kids, I don't know if you were the same, but I used to just like head out the door
Yeah.
on a bike. And then like, I just tell my parents I'm going out and hang out with
Yeah,
friends.
but the girls didn't get.
We
out.
were always told
Yeah.
that we weren't allowed to do
but
that.
guys, it's a different
guys,
standard
yeah, of course,
because
Yeah.
because it's like you just go out and you just like
Yeah.
kick a footy around or you just ride your bikes around.
But it's like the freedom that you guys can grow up doing that. Like we've always been taught that you can't do this, you can't do that
Yeah.
because of
to
safety.
protect it, to protect you guys, or
Yeah.
you girls.
You
Yeah.
can't go to the bathroom by yourself. That's why a lot of girls,
Yeah.
like
Go
when you go
together, is that
out,
a
you
thing?
always go together.
Yeah.
You never go alone.
Yeah, that's why my brother's so protective.
Makes sense though.
Like it's like he made it a thing where like if you're dropping any of our cousins, the girl cousins off,
Take
like,
them to the door.
take them to the door or wait for them to go in first before we leave. Yeah, yeah, far
100%.
out.
So the whole conversation around adolescence is around raising children in the digital age and how much can you control of their digital consumption. Like there's going to be a certain point in your life when they're reaching adolescence where you don't know your kids, like really know what your kids are doing and what they're up to, what they're thinking. Like you have a version of what you know them as when they were younger, but eventually they're going to become their own people. And it's like, that's a very critical time where you have to really kind of, be more involved with what they consume. Otherwise,
100%.
So you watched it?
Yeah.
So after watching it, has it changed your mindset about kids?
No, I definitely don't want to be a kid, parent. No way. It's hard, man. Like because you don't like the whole story is like a working class family in England, and the dad's a business owner. He's a plumber. He's working extra hours. He's working all hours of the night because you get better money, right? When you're an emergency plumber and things like that, and like because you're absent, like, and it's probably something that you guys already touched on. As a business owner, it's hard to be present. Like you get pulled away a lot, right? And it's those moments when you're not there that is so critical because they're the moments where like someone else is influencing your child.
Yeah.
and you just don't know until like something.
Yeah, because don't they say like, I think I heard this somewhere. I think it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger or someone who said that. He said like the most critical time is when your kid finishes school to the time that you get home, which is that sort of like 2 to 3 hour slot, and you don't know what your kid gets up to. It's the gray area, because school, at least it's a structured environment, and like it's not perfect, but at least there's adults around. Whereas from that 3 to 6, and I used to think about it, I was like after three, you come home from school, parents were still at work and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah, that was like free time to do whatever the hell
you do whatever
I
we
wanted.
want. Like you get up to like all sorts of trouble during that time. And I'm like, you could have like, it's like sliding doors moment. You could have been like on the wrong side of the tracks and like some messed up shit and then got into the wrong groups.
But the thing I was doing is just walking around in the sewage.
What?
That's what I was doing with my mates. We were riding bikes in the sewage.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was doing the exact same thing, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were doing. We were just having fun.
like
in
the
the
sewer pipes.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the sewer
yeah.
pipes.
You'd find a way inside. You go in there.
and we'll just-
You probably smoke some cigarettes. In there.
No, I didn't do any of that.
Okay.
We had some eggs, but that's all we did.
You used to egg people?
Sorry. Yeah, we used to.
Like delinquent stuff.
No, we would just egg things. We didn't egg people.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We found a turtle in the sewage once. Yeah. Anyway.
Was it a Ninja Turtle?
And we
Yeah, was it a Ninja Turtle?
yeah, so that was things. But
yeah, that's the point, right?
so-
Like-
but the point you were saying before is like it's our parents had it harder. I actually think like that's one of the reasons why I'm so scared of having a kid, because I think the social media and
Yeah, the internet is...
internet's a scary place, because back then we didn't get connected to the whole world and judgment and like, you know, what people perceive as level of expectations that you had to be.
Yep.
But now our kids, you know, they can just go online and speak to everyone and get influenced.
Yeah,
which is the
it's a
scariest
different
part.
kind of hard, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's kids, their peers are the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Compared to the
Yeah,
social,
our peers
your
were just
immediate-
our classmates and like our
Yeah,
family
yeah,
friends.
yeah.
That's it.
Or
It's
our
like,
neighbors, then
correct.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but there is a theory that people were saying, like I'm thinking about like some, you know, experts out there. They're all saying things like oh, it's because they don't have a senior, like you had your brother, you had Lung, or if you don't have a father figure or some sort of like male leader to...
Doesn't have to be male, by the way. Yeah, but
Well, I think people say male because it's like you kind of, then you can relate.
Yeah.
A lot of ways. Like, so yeah, it can be female, it could be mother, it could be that sort of stuff as
Yeah.
well. But a lot of boys now, what they want is like the experts are saying is because they don't have someone that they respect, a male leader that they can sort of follow.
because you have a son. Yeah, that makes sense. Shit.
But then the male leader that they are following is Andrew Tate.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. So they have to latch onto
Yeah.
some sort of leader, but if it's the wrong leader, then that's when
it's
you
fucked.
You think about back in the day, like with like drugs and gangs and that sort of stuff. It's the same thing. A lot of the boys either came from broken families or they don't have a
Yeah.
father figure. And you know, we talked to Joe from Convict Fitness. He did the same thing. If there was a void and he had to fill that void because you're looking for validation or approval.
Yeah.
And so what do? You join a gang where you get approval. And
Yeah, I remember
you get attention.
when I was young, when I was a teen, I thought it was cool to join a gang and stuff. And I felt like I
Because you want to be
needed
included. You want to be included.
Yeah,
like,
and
part of it.
protected and make sure that everything was going to be all right. The whole God bro kind of thing back in the day. And I wanted to join one. And I remember my brother was like basically indirectly trying to protect me. Like I was getting close to a bunch of people and he would just go over there and have a conversation with them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's like a degree of like sense of safety for a child as well. Like this is probably one thing I've read a lot up on it, which is this whole notion of like giving your child psychological safety as well, because a child can feel when they don't feel safe, or when I always say like your child. I think we talked about this before. It's like your child can feel what energy you bring home when you're around them. If you're anxious, your child's anxious. If you're like, we remember we grew up when my parents were angry or like they're on edge, you could
tell.
feel it. Like you could feel it on the dinner table,
Yeah.
right? I think like it happens at a very young age. And so I'm just trying to be more conscious of also just like not projecting that energy, you know, with my child as well, because that's what like actually shapes them as people. Like now I'm also, you know how like, people say, oh, like, you know, you have high EQ and that sort of stuff, right? I think the reason why I'm a little bit more sensitive from an emotional standpoint is because when I grew up, my mum was like, and like with all love and respect for my mum, but she was someone who like was very emotional. So I had to be like, I had to be around that. I had to like be fluid around it. So to be fluid around that made me very like emotionally sensitive, but at the same time puts a lot of fear into me as well, because I don't want to, like, I'm a people pleaser as well. So I don't want to step on people's toes. I tend to say yes to too many things. like that stuff comes through. And it's like the way you act, not what you say around your kid is actually makes a big difference as well.
Yeah.
She used to tell me off all the time for like making noise because she was a light sleeper.
Yeah.
So I'm like dead quiet at night
Because you're scared.
because I'm just my kid default habit
Yeah.
is just to not to disturb people.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have to be like that anymore.
Yeah. What were you then?
What do you mean?
Would like would your parents?
Do you notice like your habits or tendencies or like your personality because of the way your parents were?
I think so. I think, well, because I was the oldest, I
Yes.
saw a lot of stuff with my parents. And like, I think it was quite tumultuous when I was growing up. And then also looking after my siblings a lot. Like I was taking on a lot of the responsibility, and you have to like manage, okay, how are my parents feeling today? Like, let's protect the younger ones.
That's why you're so like when something good or bad happens, you tend to stay pretty stable.
I think it's
like
because
a way that you cope.
Yeah, my dad is quite up and down depending on how much sleep he gets.
Yep.
And like, he can be really, really chill and like things aren't that serious, and then like things could set him off. Whereas my mum is also very, very level-headed. Like she meditates every morning, and so I think it follows like the Buddhist mindset. You can't control the things you can't control. You have to go with the flow. You have to be quite level because, again, control, right? And that's probably where it's kind of come from.
That's interesting because then maybe all the social media could be a good thing because they go through that stuff earlier. And as long as they have like some sort of inspirational person that they look up to,
I think it swings both
it could
ways.
change. Yeah, it could actually make them be mature a lot faster.
Yeah, because when you're young, you're like highly impressionable. All you care about is just like approval and being inclusive and feeling like, because on a biological level, it's all safety related, in my opinion. Like they all they want is some degree of safety. Like for example, with Hudson, he doesn't like when he plays, he doesn't need you to play with him. He just needs you around him. He needs to see this. He needs to feel the safety. And if he doesn't feel it, then he gets very nervous. Like he lets you know about it as well. But I think as we get older, we just internalize it and we don't really sort of project it out anymore because that's just what society expects you to become when you grow up as well. And so I think a lot of the boys who are dealing with a lot of this issue is like they do lack that sort of sense of safety, right?
I think like social media is fine as long as children are taught critical thinking, especially,
Yes.
and then self-assurance. Because if you're watching stuff and you're so impressionable, a lot of the time you don't have critical thinking, especially through social
You just
media.
take it for gospel, right?
Exactly. And so you can't differentiate between what's wrong or right because everything out there could be fake, could be real, whatever it might be.
Got it.
But anyway, this is not to scare obviously anyone who wants to be like a parent or is becoming a parent. It's like I think
Gives you something to think about.
yeah, I think you just have to kind of like take it on face value for what it is. Like,
Yeah, I'm not
you're
scared.
in it now. You're like,
Yeah.
no backing out. There's no refunds on your kid now.
Yeah.
So you
There's
you
no
just,
refunds actually though.
yeah, you just gotta have to like deal with like what's in front. Unless you're like no, you're like nah, fuck no.
Yeah. You can't control everything, and eventually over time you're gonna just get bored. Like, well, what's the point of life? Right?
It's still worth like for me. It's being a dad is like it's still worth it. It's like the best thing.
For me,
Like
you know,
having a child and like having someone to hang out with is like the best thing. And the last thing I'll say before we wrap up is like I think my mum says this all the time when he comes over. It's like if we didn't have a child because he's the first grandson and it was just like me, Hudson, my brother, his girlfriend going to visit my parents. Sometimes it's quite like almost like you're going through
The motions.
well, you're kind of just like you're there for the sake of being there because you got to visit your parents. It's like a tick off the list, right? But when you have like a kid, that it brings a lot of energy to the room, and like the kid's the center of attention, but it just like lifts everyone's mood.
It's like a purpose.
Like a child is
purpose.
a child. When they say a child is pure joy, pure happiness, this is like when you see it. He comes in, he's the center of attention. He could care less about anything. It's just the world is his focus, and everyone's just like happy. Everyone's like smiling. Everyone's like having a good time as well.
Yeah.
No one's thinking about themselves. You know, the world's worries don't matter. And I think like those moments are like some of the most like beautiful and like really lovely moments because you get to, and you probably experience that with your brother's kids already. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
You know, when you hang out all together, right?
I know, well, I've experienced that a lot in just any relationship. Like just things that you're just doing together, the activities you're doing together, it just brings everyone closer together, and you have a purpose. But you know, that's why I feel like over time, you know, you just need to change your chapters and then just live your new chapters in your life. And that's why it's
100%.
really exciting for me. I know it's scary, but who cares? We're just gonna do it.
Yep.
Take it day by day.
Yep. And I think, like I said, we're like better equipped now than even our parents at the time. Obviously, we're dealing with like the social media component as well. But yeah, hopefully as people listen to this, they're like getting some sort of value over it as well, because, you know, what I'm going through and the lessons that like I've just shared here is not necessarily the same as what other people share as well and what people go through as well. So everyone has like their unique challenges, but I think you'll be a good dad, man. I think you're a very good dad. I think Viv agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll be a good dad.
Oh yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'll be learning a lot from everyone, but yeah. I'm already starting to feel those tips that you said. Some of them are already starting to resonate with me. So
yeah.
So I can't wait.
Some of them start early, some of them much later as well, and then some like I'm just working through as well. Just like sharing that sort of stuff, and I think it's also just a process, and just like being okay with like sometimes the guilt of like not doing enough as well. But you know, you like you do your best. Like that's
You're
all
all
you can do.
human.
Yeah, like you can't
No
blame
one's
yourself
perfect.
too much. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yep.
Yep.
20 years from now, April and Hudson start dating.
Yeah, I don't mind.
For those who didn't hear, Senthin asked, 20 years from now, if Hudson, Can's son, and April, Davey's daughter, start dating, what do you guys feel? What's your reaction?
Well, we're practically like.
Wait, what did you remember what you said to Ken?
Well.
You were like, as long as it doesn't look like Ken.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.